The sky turned an ominous shade of red as the alien ships entered Earth's atmosphere. It was a sight that would be etched into the memories of every human who witnessed it. The once peaceful blue expanse was now filled with massive dark vessels that blocked out the sun. John Smith, a regular office worker in New York City, stared out of his window in disbelief. He rubbed his eyes, hoping it was all just a bad dream. But when he looked again, the ships were still there, looming over the city like giant predators eyeing their prey. Across the globe, similar scenes unfolded. In Tokyo, school children pointed at the sky, their faces a mix of fear and wonder. In Rio de Janeiro, beachgoers abandoned the sand, running for shelter as the shadows of the alien ships crawled across the shore. World leaders scrambled to respond. Emergency meetings were called, and military forces were put on high alert. But against such advanced technology, what could they really do? The Galactic Council, a group of alien races that controlled most of the known universe, watched from their command ship. They had invaded countless planets before, and Earth seemed like just another easy conquest. "Prepare the first wave," ordered High Commander Zix, a tall, blue-skinned alien with 4 arms. His large, pupilless eyes gleamed with anticipation. "These humans will make excellent slaves for our minds." Back on Earth, chaos erupted. Traffic jammed the streets as people tried to flee the cities. Supermarkets were emptied as everyone stocked up on supplies. The internet was flooded with theories, prayers, and goodbyes. In the White House, the President of the United States addressed the nation. Her voice trembled slightly, but she tried to sound confident. "My fellow Americans, we face an unprecedented threat, but we will not go quietly. We will fight with everything we have." Similar speeches were given around the world. Humanity, despite its differences, was united in the face of this cosmic threat. The first attack came swiftly. Beams of energy shot down from the alien ships, destroying military bases and communication centers. The world's defenses crumbled in a matter of hours. John huddled in his apartment with his neighbors, listening to the explosions in the distance. "What do they want?" asked Sarah, a young woman clutching her cat tightly. "I don't know," John replied, his voice barely a whisper. "But I don't think they came in peace." In orbit, the Galactic Council members watched with satisfaction. "See how easily they fall," said Zix, gesturing to the screens showing Earth's feudal resistance. "This planet will be ours before the rotation is complete." But as the aliens prepared for their ground invasion, something unexpected happened. Deep beneath the Earth's surface, in hidden bunkers and secret facilities, humans were activating systems that had been prepared for just such an occasion. Dr. Emily Chen, lead scientist of Project Safeguard, took a deep breath as she input the final activation code. "I hope this works," she muttered, pressing the enter key. Suddenly, a wave of energy pulsed from strategic points around the globe. It was invisible to the human eye, but the effect on the alien ships was immediate. Their systems flickered, and several smaller craft plummeted from the sky. On the Galactic Council's command ship, alarms blared. "What's happening?" demanded Zix, his composure slipping for the first time. "Unknown energy signature detected," reported one of his subordinates. "It's interfering with our systems." Back on Earth, as people emerged from their shelters, they saw something that filled them with hope. The alien ships were retreating, pulling back from the atmosphere. John watched from his window, a smile slowly spreading across his face. "I don't believe it," he said. "We're fighting back." The president appeared on screens worldwide, her expression a mix of relief and determination. "People of Earth, we have struck our first blow against the invaders. This is not the end, but it is a beginning. We have revealed our strength, and we will not stop until our planet is safe." As cheers erupted around the world, the Galactic Council was in shock. High Commander Zix stared at the view screen, his mandibles clicking in agitation. "Impossible," he muttered. "How could these primitives have such technology?" For the first time in its long history of conquest, the Galactic Council faced a setback. Earth, it seemed, would not be an easy victory after all. And humanity, united and defiant, prepared for the battle that was sure to come. The war for Earth had only just begun. The Galactic Council's initial retreat gave humanity a brief moment to catch its breath. But everyone knew the aliens would be back, and this time they would be prepared. In a hidden underground facility beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Emily Chen worked tirelessly with her team. Surrounded by holographic displays and humming machinery, she fine-tuned Earth's secret weapon, the quantum shield. "Status report," she called out, her eyes never leaving the complex equations floating before her. Her assistant, a young prodigy named Alex, responded quickly. "The shield is holding at 87% efficiency, Dr. Chen. We're still working on extending its range to cover more of the planet." Emily nodded, a mix of pride and worry on her face. "It's not enough. We need full coverage before they return." Meanwhile, in New York City, John Smith found himself thrust into an unexpected role. His ability to rally his neighbors during the first attack had caught the attention of local authorities. Now he was helping to organize civilian defense groups. "Remember, folks," he addressed a crowd gathered in a community center, "we're the last line of defense. If those aliens get past our military, it's up to us to protect our homes." As John spoke, he couldn't help but marvel at how quickly the world had changed. Just days ago, his biggest worry had been paying his rent on time. Across the globe, similar scenes played out. Humanity, faced with extinction, was pulling together in ways never seen before. Old enemies became allies, pooling resources and knowledge to face the common threat. In orbit, the Galactic Council regrouped. High Commander Zix paced the bridge of his flagship, his 4 arms clasped behind his back. "How is it possible?" he muttered. "These humans were supposed to be primitive." One of his advisors, a serpentine creature named Slith, slithered forward. "We've analyzed the energy signature that repelled our ships, Commander. It appears to be based on quantum entanglement technology, far more advanced than we anticipated." Zix's eyes narrowed. "Then we must strike harder. Prepare the stellar crusher." Back on Earth, as governments and scientists raced to bolster the planet's defenses, ordinary people found ways to contribute. In a small town in Japan, an elderly engineer named Hiroshi Tanaka had an epiphany while tending his Zen garden. "The patterns," he whispered, his eyes wide. "They're the key to improving the shield's efficiency." Hiroshi's insight, when combined with Dr. Chen's research, led to a breakthrough. The quantum shield's coverage expanded rapidly, enveloping more of the planet each day. But time was running out. Earth's long-range sensors, upgraded with recovered alien technology, detected a massive energy buildup in the alien fleet. In the White House Situation Room, the President received the grim news. "Madam President," the Joint Chiefs Chairman reported, "our analysts believe the aliens are preparing a weapon capable of cracking the planet's crust." The President's face hardened. "Then we have no choice. Initiate Operation Slingshot." Across the globe, hidden silos opened. Rockets, retrofitted with a mixture of human ingenuity and reverse-engineered alien tech, roared to life. Earth was bringing the fight to the invaders. As the counterattack began, John found himself huddled with his neighbors again, watching the sky. But this time, instead of alien ships descending, they saw streaks of light ascending into the heavens. "Go get him," he whispered, hoping against hope that humanity's boldness would pay off. In her underground lab, Dr. Chen watched the launch with mixed emotions. "The shield isn't at full strength yet," she said to no one in particular. "If this doesn't work..." She left the thought unfinished, turning back to her work with renewed determination. In space, High Commander Zix was caught off guard by the sudden attack. Human ships, crewed by Galactic Council standards, but surprisingly effective, swarmed his fleet. "Impossible," he roared as explosions rocked his flagship. "How are they breaching our defenses?" What Zix didn't know was that Earth's rockets carried a secret payload, quantum-entangled particles that disrupted the alien shield harmonics, a weakness discovered by analyzing the debris from the first battle. As the battle raged in space, the people of Earth watched and waited. In New York, John organized supply runs and first aid stations, preparing for the worst. In her lab, Dr. Chen pushed the quantum shield to its limits, expanding its coverage inch by precious inch. And in orbit, humanity's fate hung in the balance as their hastily assembled fleet clashed with the might of the Galactic Council. The war for Earth had entered a new phase, and the outcome was far from certain. But one thing was clear: humanity would not go down without a fight. The vastness of space lit up with explosions as Earth's makeshift fleet engaged the Galactic Council's armada. It was a David versus Goliath battle, but humanity's smaller ships darted between the lumbering alien vessels with surprising agility. Captain Maria Rodriguez, a veteran pilot now commanding Earth's lead vessel, gritted her teeth as she dodged another energy blast. All ships focus fire on their flagship's weak spots, she ordered through the comm system. Her crew, a mix of experienced astronauts and hastily trained civilians, worked in perfect harmony. They had one shot at this, and failure wasn't an option. Back on Earth, John Smith organized a group of volunteers to set up a field hospital in Central Park. As they worked, the sky above New York flickered with distant flashes, the battle raging in orbit. "Do you think we have a chance?" asked Sarah, the young woman who had become John's right hand in these crisis days. John paused, looking up at the sky. "We have to believe we do," he said simply, then returned to his work with renewed determination. In her underground lab, Dr. Emily Chen worked feverishly to expand the quantum shield's coverage. Sweat beaded on her forehead as she input complex calculations. "Dr. Chen," her assistant Alex called out, "we're receiving a transmission from the fleet. They need more power for their weapons." Emily's mind raced. More power to the fleet meant less for the shield. It was a dangerous gamble, but one they had to take. "Do it," she ordered. "Divert 30% of the shield's power to the fleet." As the power transfer began, alarms blared throughout the facility. The shield's coverage started to fluctuate, leaving parts of the planet exposed. High above, the battle took a turn. With the extra power, Earth's ships began to punch through the alien defenses. Captain Rodriguez saw her opening. "This is it," she shouted. "All ships, converge on the flagship. Fire everything we've got." A barrage of missiles, each tipped with quantum-disrupting warheads, streaked towards the massive alien ship. High Commander Zix watched in disbelief as his impenetrable defenses crumbled. "Evacuate the ship," he ordered, his composure finally breaking. As escape pods jettisoned from the flagship, a massive explosion ripped through its hull. A cheer went up through the human fleet. They had struck a decisive blow, but the battle was far from over. On the Galactic Council's secondary command ship, Slith the Advisor took control. "Launch the ground invasion," he hissed. "We'll overwhelm them with numbers." Drop pods began to rain down on Earth, bypassing the weakened sections of the quantum shield. John and his volunteers watched in horror as they streaked across the sky, heading for major cities. "Everyone to the shelters," John shouted, helping people evacuate the park. As he ushered a group of children into an underground station, he saw the first alien troops touch down in the distance. They were tall, insectoid creatures, heavily armored and carrying weapons that pulsed with strange energy. But to John's surprise, they moved cautiously, as if unsure of their surroundings. In Washington, D.C., the president rallied the armed forces. "The enemy is on our soil," she addressed the troops. "But remember, this is our home. We have the advantage here. Fight smart, fight hard, and show them what Earth is made of." Army units mobilized, joined by civilian militias. The streets of major cities became battlegrounds as humans faced off against alien invaders. In Paris, resistance fighters used the catacombs to outmaneuver the aliens. In Tokyo, hackers turned the city's advanced infrastructure against the invaders, trapping them in malfunctioning buildings and subway cars. Dr. Chen, realizing the shield was no longer enough, switched gears. Alex, help me modify the quantum disruptors. If we can't keep them out, we'll give our troops a way to fight back. As the ground battle raged, Captain Rodriguez led the remaining fleet in hit-and-run attacks on the alien supply lines. We can't let them reinforce their troops, she told her crew. Earth's fate depends on us. The next few hours would be crucial. Humanity had surprised the Galactic Council with its resilience and ingenuity. But now came the true test. Could they hold out against a technologically superior force in ground combat? As the sun set on the first day of the ground invasion, the future remained uncertain. But all across the planet, humans steeled themselves for the fight of their lives. The war had come to Earth's doorstep, and they were ready to defend their home, street by street if necessary. The counterattack had begun in earnest, and the galaxy watched in amazement as humanity refused to back down. As the battle raged on Earth, the remnants of the Galactic Council fleet retreated to their nearest base on Mars. The massive dome structures, hidden on the red planet for centuries, now buzzed with frantic activity. In the central chamber, holographic displays showed the ongoing conflict on Earth. Alien representatives from a dozen worlds argued loudly, their translator devices struggling to keep up with the cacophony of languages. Silith, the serpentine advisor who had taken command after High Commander Zix's defeat, slithered to the center of the room. Silence, he hissed, his forked tongue flicking in agitation. The chamber quieted, all eyes turning to the acting commander. Our invasion has failed, Silith admitted, his scales rippling with shame. These humans have proven unexpectedly resourceful. A hulking, rock-like being rumbled in disagreement. Impossible. They are primitives. We should crush them with our full might. And risk losing more ships. More troops. Countered a delicate, crystalline entity. Its light pulsed with each word. We underestimated them once. We must not do so again. As the council members bickered, on Earth, the tide of battle continued to shift. In New York, John Smith led a group of civilians through the ruins of Lower Manhattan. They carried makeshift weapons and the quantum disruptors Dr. Chen had developed. "Stay low and stay quiet," John whispered, peering around a corner. A group of alien soldiers marched past, their insectoid heads swiveling as they searched for human resistance. Once they passed, John's group darted across the street, heading for a hidden resistance base in an old subway station. Meanwhile, in her underground lab, Dr. Emily Chen worked tirelessly on a new project. Surrounded by holographic schematics and alien tech salvaged from crashed ships, she pieced together a device that could turn the tide of the war. "Alex, hand me that plasma coupler," she said, not looking up from her work. Her assistant quickly complied, marveling at the complex machine taking shape before them. "What is it, Dr. Chen?" Alex asked, curiosity getting the better of him. Emily allowed herself a small smile. "Our ticket to the stars. Alex, if this works, we're taking the fight to them." High above the Earth, Captain Maria Rodriguez and her fleet played a dangerous game of cat and mouse with the remaining alien ships. Her vessel, now emblazoned with battle scars, weaved through debris fields, launching surprise attacks before disappearing again. "Captain," her navigation officer called out, "we're picking up strange readings from Mars. It looks like a base." Maria's eyes widened. "So that's where they're hiding. Send word to Earth Command. We've found their nest." Back in the Martian base, the Galactic Council's debate had reached a fever pitch. "We should sue for peace," argued a gaseous being, its form swirling with anxiety. "These humans have proven themselves worthy adversaries. Perhaps they could even join the Council." "Join us," scoffed a multi-limbed creature. "They're savages. Did you see what they did to High Commander Zix's flagship?" Slith raised all four of his arms, calling for order. "We must decide quickly. Our forces on Earth are losing ground, and our fleet is in tatters." Just then, an alarm blared through the chamber. A junior officer rushed in, panic clear in his compound eyes. Acting Commander, he chittered, we've detected human ships approaching Mars. They found us. The council erupted into chaos. Some members called for immediate evacuation, while others demanded they stand and fight. Slith felt the weight of leadership heavy upon him. The next decision would determine not just the fate of the invasion, but potentially the future of the Galactic Council itself. On Earth, as news of the Mars discovery spread, a renewed sense of hope energized the human resistance. In cities around the world, people emerged from hiding, ready to reclaim their planet. John Smith, hearing the news over a salvaged alien communicator, turned to his ragtag group of fighters. You hear that? We've got them on the run now. Dr. Chen, putting the finishing touches on her mysterious device, allowed herself a moment of triumph. Prepare for launch, she told her team. It's time to show the galaxy what humanity is truly capable of. As Earth prepared to take the battle to Mars, the Galactic Council faced a moment of truth. Their easy conquest had turned into a nightmare, and now they had to decide: double down on their invasion, or admit defeat to a species they had grossly underestimated. The war for Earth had become a war for the future of the galaxy, and humanity was just getting started. The red dust of Mars swirled around the sleek human ships as they touched down near the alien base. Captain Maria Rodriguez, leading the ground assault, stepped onto the Martian soil, her helmet reflecting the rust-colored landscape. Secure the perimeter, she ordered her troops. Remember, we're making history here. Inside the Galactic Council's dome, panic had given way to resignation. Slith, the acting commander, made a decision that would change the course of galactic history. We surrender, he announced, his serpentine body coiled tightly in stress. Contact the humans. Tell them we wish to negotiate. As the human forces approached the dome, they were met not with weapons fire, but with a delegation of alien representatives, their arms raised in the universal gesture of surrender. Back on Earth, the news of the alien surrender spread like wildfire. In New York, John Smith and his resistance fighters emerged from the subway tunnels, tears of joy streaming down their faces as they saw alien troops laying down their weapons. We did it, John whispered, hardly believing it himself. We actually did it. In her lab, Dr. Emily Chen received the news with a mix of relief and excitement. Alex, she called to her assistant, prep the prototype. Our work is just beginning. As the world celebrated, diplomatic channels opened between Earth and the Galactic Council. The President of the United States, along with leaders from other nations, prepared to meet with alien representatives on neutral ground, the surface of the moon. At the historic lunar conference, humans and aliens sat across from each other in a hastily constructed dome. The atmosphere was tense, filled with a mix of curiosity and lingering hostility. We apologize for our misguided attempt at conquest, Slith began, his words translated for the human delegation. We gravely underestimated your species. The president leaned forward, her eyes sharp. Apology accepted. Now, let's talk about Earth's place in the galaxy. What followed was a series of negotiations that would reshape the cosmic order. Earth, leveraging its unexpected victory, pushed for recognition and rights. We demand a seat on the Galactic Council, the president stated firmly, and access to advanced technologies to protect ourselves from future threats. The alien representatives, still reeling from their defeat, had little choice but to agree. Earth was to become the newest member of the Galactic Council, with all the rights and responsibilities that entailed. As the negotiations concluded, Dr. Chen arrived on the moon, her prototype in tow. Ladies, gentlemen, and honored alien representatives, she announced, unveiling her creation. I present to you Earth's first faster-than-light drive. The room fell silent, then erupted in a mix of gasps and excited chatter. The aliens were stunned. Humanity had not only defeated them, but had also unlocked one of the fundamental technologies of galactic civilization. With this, Dr. Chen continued, Humanity will be able to explore the stars on equal footing with any species in the galaxy. In the following weeks, Earth underwent a rapid transformation. Alien technology, now freely shared, revolutionized every aspect of human life. Clean energy, advanced medicine, and space travel became commonplace. John Smith, once a simple office worker turned resistance fighter, found himself appointed as Earth's first ambassador to the Galactic Council. As he prepared for his first journey to the Council's homeworld, he couldn't help but marvel at how far humanity had come. From near extinction to galactic players in a matter of months, he mused, looking out at the stars from his apartment window. What a ride! Captain Rodriguez, hailed as a hero of the war, was given command of Earth's first interstellar fleet. As she stood on the bridge of her new ship, sleek and powered by Dr. Chen's FTL drive, she felt a thrill of excitement. "Helm," she ordered, "set course for the galactic core. Let's introduce ourselves to the neighborhood." As Earth's ships launched into the cosmos, carrying diplomats, scientists, and explorers, the planet buzzed with a new energy. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and emerged stronger than ever, ready to take its place among the stars. The Galactic Council, forever changed by the species it had once dismissed as primitive, watched with a mix of apprehension and curiosity. Humanity's ascension marked the beginning of a new era in galactic history, one that promised to be anything but boring. The stars, once distant and unreachable, now beckoned to every human, full of promise and adventure. Earth's chapter of isolation was over. Its story among the cosmos was just beginning. Just as humanity began to settle into its new role in the galactic community, alarm bells rang out across Earth's defense network. A massive fleet of ships had appeared at the edge of the solar system, their intentions clearly hostile. In the newly established Earth Command Center, formerly Dr. Chen's underground lab, screens lit up with urgent messages. The president rushed in, her face grim. "What's the situation?" she demanded. Admiral Chen, formerly Dr. Chen, now head of Earth's Space Forces, pointed to a holographic display. "It's a faction of the Galactic Council, Madam President. They refuse to accept Earth's new status. They're here to put us in our place." John Smith, freshly returned from his first diplomatic mission, entered the room. "I tried to warn the Council this might happen," he said, shaking his head. "Some species just can't accept change." The president's eyes narrowed. "Then we'll have to show them the error of their ways. Again." Across the planet, humanity prepared for another fight. But this time, they were ready. In New York, John's old friend Sarah coordinated civilian defense efforts. People calmly made their way to shelters, a far cry from the panic of the first invasion. "We beat them once," Sarah told a group of volunteers. "We'll do it again." High above Earth, Captain Maria Rodriguez's fleet took up defensive positions. Her flagship, the ESS Resilience, gleamed in the sunlight, its weapons primed. "All ships, battle formation Delta," she ordered. "Remember your training. We're not fighting for survival this time. We're fighting for our place in the stars." As the enemy fleet approached, a tense silence fell over Earth's defenders. The alien ships, a mix of species and technologies, formed an imposing armada. Suddenly, a transmission came through. A hologram appeared in Earth Command Center, showing a familiar face. High Commander Zix, who had survived the destruction of his flagship in the first battle. "Humans," he sneered, his four arms crossed. "Your victory was a fluke. Surrender now, and we may show mercy." The president stepped forward, her voice firm. "We earned our place in the galaxy, Commander. We won't give it up without a fight." Zix's eyes narrowed. "So be it." The transmission cut off, and moments later, the battle began. In space, Earth's fleet engaged the enemy. Captain Rodriguez's ships, enhanced with a blend of human ingenuity and alien tech, darted between the larger alien vessels. "Target their propulsion systems," Rodriguez shouted as her ship narrowly avoided a barrage of energy weapons. On Earth, Admiral Chen activated the planet's new defense grid, A shimmering energy field enveloped the globe, deflecting incoming attacks. Counterattack initiated, Chen reported, her fingers flying over the controls, launching quantum disruptor missiles. In cities around the world, people watched the sky, holding their breath as streaks of light crisscrossed the atmosphere. Unlike the first invasion, there was no panic, only a steely determination. John Smith found himself in a shuttle heading towards the Resilience. "I need to be up there," he had insisted. "I know how these aliens think." As he arrived on the bridge, Captain Rodriguez nodded in greeting. "Ambassador, glad you could join us. Any insights?" John studied the tactical display. "They're fighting defensively. I think they're scared of us." Rodriguez grinned. "Then let's give them something to be scared of. All ships concentrate fire on their flagship." The battle raged for hours. Earth's forces, though outnumbered, fought with a coordination and skill that surprised their opponents. Slowly but surely, they began to gain the upper hand. In a desperate move, High Commander Zix ordered his remaining ships to charge Earth directly, hoping to overwhelm its defenses. "This is it," Admiral Chen called out. "All units, execute Operation Slingshot." Suddenly, hidden installations on the Moon and Mars activated. Gravitational beams lashed out, catching the alien ships in a web of energy. "Now, Captain," Chen radioed to Rodriguez. The Resilience and its fleet unleashed a final devastating barrage. Caught in the gravitational web, unable to maneuver, the enemy ships fell one by one. On the bridge of his failing flagship, High Commander Zix watched in disbelief as his fleet was decimated. "How?" he whispered. "How could they have advanced so quickly?" As the last enemy ship fell silent, a cheer went up across Earth and its colonies. They had faced their final test and emerged victorious. In Earth Command Center, the President allowed herself a small smile. "Send a message to the Galactic Council," she ordered. "Tell them Earth stands ready to help build a more just and peaceful galaxy for all species." As the adrenaline of battle faded, humanity looked to the stars with new eyes. They had proven, once and for all, that they were a force to be reckoned with. In the cosmic arena, the final battle was over. Earth's future among the stars was secure, and the galaxy would never be the same again. 5 years had passed since Earth's decisive victory in the final battle. The planet, once a hidden backwater in the vast expanse of the galaxy, had become a shining beacon of progress and unity. On a clear autumn day, the streets of New York City buzzed with excitement. Humans and aliens alike lined the avenues, their eyes turned skyward. Today marked the official opening of Earth's first galactic spaceport and the arrival of diplomats from across the cosmos. John Smith, now Earth's senior ambassador to the Galactic Council, stood on a raised platform near the gleaming new terminal. Beside him were familiar faces: Sarah, the former resistance fighter turned mayor of New York; Admiral Emily Chen, architect of Earth's defense systems; and Captain Maria Rodriguez, hero of 2 interstellar wars and now fleet admiral. "Hard to believe how far we've come," John mused, adjusting his formal attire. Sarah nodded, her eyes scanning the diverse crowd. From hiding in subway tunnels to hosting the galaxy's elite, it's been quite a journey. A hush fell over the gathered masses as the first ship appeared in the sky. It was a massive vessel, its hull shimmering with colors that seemed to defy the visible spectrum. As it descended, smaller ships of various designs followed in its wake. Admiral Chen checked her datapad. "Right on schedule. The Galactic Council's delegation is aboard the lead ship." The ships landed with barely a sound, a testament to their advanced technology. As ramps extended and doors opened, a procession of alien dignitaries emerged. Leading them was a familiar serpentine figure, Slith, now the High Chancellor of the Galactic Council. John stepped forward to greet them, a warm smile on his face. "Welcome to Earth, honored representatives. We're delighted to host the first Galactic Unity Summit." Slith bowed his head slightly. "The honor is ours, Ambassador Smith." Earth has much to teach us about resilience and innovation. As the dignitaries were escorted to their quarters, the city erupted in celebration. Festivals showcasing both Earth and alien cultures sprang up in every borough. In Central Park, a zero-gravity dance performance mesmerized onlookers. Down in the financial district, interstellar trade agreements were being forged in gleaming skyscrapers. That evening, at the summit's opening ceremony in the newly constructed Harmony Dome, the President of the United States took the stage. The dome's transparent ceiling offered a breathtaking view of the star-filled sky. "Distinguished guests, fellow sentients," she began, her words automatically translated for all attendees. "Today marks not just a new chapter for Earth, but for our entire galaxy. We gather here not as conquerors or the conquered, but as equals, united in our desire for peace and progress." As she spoke, holographic displays showed scenes from across Earth. Children in Tokyo learning alien languages, scientists in Nairobi collaborating with extraterrestrial researchers on clean energy projects, artists in Rio creating hybrid works that blended human and alien aesthetics. "Our victory in war taught us the strength of unity," the President continued. "Now let our achievements in peace show the true potential of galactic cooperation." The crowd erupted in applause, a cacophony of sounds from dozens of species all expressing the same sentiment: hope for the future. Later that night, John found himself on the observation deck of the spaceport, gazing at the stars. Admiral Rodriguez joined him, her uniform adorned with medals from 2 interstellar conflicts. "Penny for your thoughts, Ambassador," she asked. John chuckled. "Just thinking about that day when we first saw alien ships in the sky. We've come so far since then." Rodriguez nodded. "We have. But the real journey is just beginning." As if on cue, a ship took off from the spaceport, its destination a distant world. Hundreds more were scheduled to depart in the coming weeks: explorers, diplomats, and ordinary citizens, all eager to experience the wonders of the galaxy. In labs across the planet, human and alien scientists worked side by side, unlocking the secrets of the universe. In schools, children learned about cultures from stars thousands of light years away. And in homes everywhere, families dreamed of vacations to exotic alien worlds. Earth had not just survived its trial by fire. It had emerged as a leader in a new galactic age. The planet that had once been dismissed as a primitive backwater was now showing the way toward a brighter future for all species. As the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, John Smith smiled. The stars no longer seemed distant or threatening. They were a promise of adventure, of discovery, and of a united galaxy where humanity played a central role. The Earth had taken its place among the stars, and the greatest chapter in human history was just beginning.